باسم الآب والولد والمنفس القدوس أحد واحد آمين. باسم الآب والولد والمنفس القدوس أحد واحد آمين. باسم الآب والولد والمنفس القدوس أحد واحد آمين. Good morning and blessings and love. And in the UK, it's Bank Holiday Monday. It might be Bank Holiday Monday in many places for the Easter. So whatever you get up to today, if you don't have to work, then have a blessed, beautiful, and hopefully relaxing day. So today's reading, Joshua 18, give thanks. The whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh and set up at the tent of meeting there. Their land was subdued before them. 7 tribes remaining among the children of Israel, which had not yet divided their inheritance. Joshua said to the children of Israel, "How long will you neglect to go in to possess the land which Yahweh your God fathers has given you? Appoint for yourself 3 men of each tribe. I will send them, and they shall arise, walk through the land and describe it according to their inheritance. Then they shall come to me. They shall divide it into 7 portions. Judah shall live in its borders on the south, and the house of Joseph shall live on the borders to the north. You shall survey the land into 7 parts and bring the description here to me, and I will cast lots for you here before Yahweh our God. However, the Levites have no portion among you, for their priesthood of Yahweh is their inheritance. Gad, Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance east of the Jordan, which Moses, the servant of Yahweh, gave them." The men arose and went. Joshua commanded those who went to survey the land, saying, "Go walk through the land, survey it, and come to me, and I will cast lots for you here before Yahweh in Shiloh." And the men went against and passed through the land and surveyed it by cities into 7 portions in a book. They came to Joshua to the camp at Shiloh. Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before Yahweh. There Joshua divided the land to the children of Israel according to their divisions. The lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families. The border of their lot went out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Their border on the north quarter was with Jordan. The border went up to the side of Jericho on the north and went up through the hill country westward. It ended at the wilderness of Beth Aven. The border passed along there to Luz, to the side of Luz, also called Bethel, southward. The border went down to Ataroth, Adar, by the mountain that lies on the south of Beth Horon, the lower. The border extended and turned around on the west quarter southward from the mountain that lies before Beth Horon southward and ended at Kereth Bar, also called Kereth Jearim, the city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. The south quarter was from the farthest part of Kereth Jearim. The border went out westward and went out to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. The border went down to the farthest part of mountain that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which was in the valley of Rephaim northward. It went down to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, and went down to En-Rogel. It extended, went out of En-Shemer, and went out to Gileath, which is opposite the ascent of Adamim. It went down to the stone of Bohon, the son of Reuben. It passed alongside opposite the Arabah northward and went down to Arabah. The border passed along to the side of Beth Hoglah northward, and the border ended at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of Jordan. This was the south border. The Jordan was its border on the east quarter. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin by the borders around it, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, Beth Hoglah, Emlech Keziz, Beth Horon, Zemaman, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Chephor-Ammai, Ophni, Gabi, the 12 cities with their villages, Gibbon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpeh, Cherepoth, Moza, Rakim, Irpeel, Tarala, Telel, Alpha, Jebusite, also called Jerusalem, Gibbeheth, and Kirnar, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin according to their families. For these few words I give thanks, blessings, and love. So this chapter starts with the children of God, and it would be the Levites that set up the tabernacle and the tent of meeting at Shiloh. And it should be noted here that Shiloh at this stage became the central city, became kind of the capital city for the children of Israel. And particularly it's the place where the tabernacle and the tent of meeting resided, and it became the spiritual home of the children of Israel for quite some time. So it's quite significant, even though it doesn't really say that in this chapter. The fact that the first thing they did when they entered the area was to go to Shiloh and to set up the tent of the meeting is very significant, because it shows their priorities. It shows as soon as they landed, the first thing that they wanted to do was have a place that they could worship the Almighty. And this is what they did at Shiloh, and it remained in that way for quite some time. So that's one of the first things of significance with this chapter, and the historical kind of context of the Promised Land. And then it goes on to say that Joshua approached the children of Benjamin and all the tribes of Benjamin actually that hadn't taken possession, but this one deals with the children of Benjamin and says, how long is it going to take you, children of Israel, to claim the lands which you have been promised? You're basically procrastinating, and you're not working towards the inheritance that you've been given. And I spoke about that yesterday and also the day before, that for an inheritance you can't sit passively back. You actually have to actively work for it and move towards it, rather than just expecting it to land in your lap. And this is exactly what Joshua's dealing with here. So he said this to all of the tribes that hadn't taken their lands, and we're going to hear about that in the next chapters to come. With the tribe of Benjamin, it's very significant where the tribe of Benjamin was positioned. So it talks about who was on the borders and geographically the position. And at the very end, it talks about one of its near cities was the Jebusite, which was also called Jerusalem. So this means that the borders of Benjamin was very close to the city of Jerusalem at that time, which was before it's called Jerusalem, it was called the Jebusite or the Jebusite area. And this is very significant because the first king of Israel, and we're going to hear about the first king of Israel I think it's in the book of Judges. The first king of Israel is Saul, and Saul comes from the tribe of Benjamin. And at that point is when Jerusalem takes over as the capital city of the children of Israel. So it's very strategically important, this positioning of Benjamin, and then the fortunes of the children of Israel to come, with Saul coming out of the tribe of Benjamin, and then Jerusalem becoming that capital city because it's close to Benjamin's area. So that's not really being flagged up here, but it's something that later down the line we see the significance of. So this continual effort of Joshua to ensure that the inheritance and the promise from Yahweh is kept by the children of Israel, and also the effort by Joshua to make sure that the children of Israel are active, that they're full participants in the community, that they are living according to the covenant, because you still have to be worthy to take on the inheritance. So Joshua's got he's got a huge work to do to ensure that when people have camped, when they first crossed over the River Jordan, that's not where they're settling, that the full gamut of the promised land has to be taken on, but each of those lands doesn't come without its challenges, because it's still inhabited by the children of Canaan, by the people of Canaan. So this is why the children of Benjamin had to go into those areas. But there's going to be battles. Each one of these occupied spaces, there's battles that come with that. And Joshua is the lead strategist for how those battles are going to be fought and won. So it doesn't talk about all those battles in this book, but that's what it entails. So this is why the children of Israel become slightly complacent, and they're procrastinating, and they're not taking the land that's been promised to them, because they know it's going to be hard work. They know that there's going to be certain sacrifices. They know there's going to be fights and battles that they have to endure. And that's why a lot of them aren't doing anything. And this is what's frustrating Joshua. So going back to the beginning, the significance of when they first entered into this new encroachment of the space, because with each taking of the new lands, and we've heard about the taking of the lands by Manasseh yesterday, and for the tribe of Joseph and Ephraim, that with each new encroachment, they're moving further into that space. So when they got closer to Shiloh, and they set up the tents and meet in Shiloh, again, it shows that priority, that they're putting down the marker, that everything comes with God at the center of it. Once you come into a new space, you worship, you give thanks to God, you're making God the priority and the focus of what's going to come next. And then that allows the spiritual renewal of the people to then go on to conquer more lands. And as we saw with Benjamin, going into these new spaces and occupying that new geography. So with God at the center of it, it gives them that strength, it gives them that courage, it gives them that confidence. But we can see how Joshua is having to rally the people to make sure that that's what people do. So the allegorical reading of this is that idea of putting God at the center, putting God at the center of your geography, having a space in the home where you can focus on God and worship, having a space in your heart where you can focus and worship, having a space in your mind when you can focus and worship. And whether it's geographically, whether it's psychologically, still that notion of that Shiloh presence, that Shiloh center. Where is the Shiloh in your life? Where is God at the center in your life? And when you making time and space for that area of prayer, that area and moment of meditation, when you're sitting back, you're giving thanks for everything that's happened, you're giving thanks to breath, you're giving thanks for your eyesight, you're giving thanks for your hearing and your taste and your touch, the senses, everything we can give thanks for that we just often take for granted and don't think twice about. So this idea of the Shiloh being the priority in chapter 18 is very significant, because it's learning from that Shiloh moment, the prioritization of putting God at the center, that we can all do in our daily lives at any given moment. So I will end it here. Have a fantastic Easter Monday. I hope it goes brilliant. I hope you have time with the family, whatever you do today. I hope it's fully blessed. And God willing, I'll be back more tomorrow for Joshua 19. Give thanks and glory to God.